Churchill, what's happening now? Here you go. 3 little hack chicks in the background. That's all they say. Give me love. Give me all that you got. The Churchill, what's happening now? Here we go. Because how you doing? Your host, Joey Diaz. My main man in the co-host chair. The one and only, the ultimate, the flying Jew of death, Mr. Lee Syatt.
We learned something very important today, Joey.
No, we learned something this week. Never to put a guest on here that can't handle an edible, because now we're put in a bad position. I didn't book all the guests. A lot of people out of town. This is one of those podcasts. We're going to chit-chat about a few things that have been on my mind lately. My agent, Gordon Warnock. I've been talking with him for 3 years. We still haven't made a dollar together. And, he's been trying to talk me to write a book for the last 3 years. And I've started 6 times. And because of my writing insecurities and the whole thing, it's taken years. And in a way, I wanted it this way. I really wanted to think this out. But the bottom line is, last month, I was doing really well on this page, Lit Lift. What I basically did was an idea a friend gave me. That he said, just write a sentence every day. Start with that. And that's what I did. Every day I would go back, write a sentence. Then I got to the point where I couldn't wait to go to it. And I would write a few sentences a day and clean up. And I'd put together about 2.5 chapters. And last month, one day, I go to just write in there, and the website is down. And this went on for about 3 or 4 days. And my wife, she's a private investigator. She went online, and something happened with Lit, but it took my book. So now I got to start from scratch. So to put myself in a position where I had to do this, I'm hiring somebody from the month of August. And pretty basically, I only have San Francisco and Ontario in the month of August. So that's 1 week I have to be on a plane. And for 3.5 weeks, we're just going to write the 3 or 4 chapters to get an advance and to see what we have to do. It's a good learning experience for both of us. He's from NYU. But the bottom line was that throughout this whole 3 years, the thing that's driven me not to even send them this stuff is fear. If you got the syringe, take a chance. I'm sick and tired of dealing with fear. And I dealt with it for 30 years, and then I started doing little things about it. Just little things. But anyway, to get back to this book, Gordon sent me a book. I always get little emails from people, and they send it to the webpage. And you know what, man? I know that a lot of you guys are aspiring writers. We'll just talk with writers this week. But this applies for everything. He sent me a book called The Art of War for Writers. Okay? Now, I've read half of it already. But there was something I read that I had to write down on a piece of paper. And let me tell you what this is. All writers, without exception, are scared to death. Some simply hide it better than others. That's the story of my life. I've just hidden my fears, and I've gotten away with it. And I know a lot of you guys, whenever we talk about the subject fear, I get a lot of emails 3-4 days later that now they understood what was going on with them, and we haven't touched on it in a while. And I told Lee, Lee, you know what, man, I've been getting more and more emails from writers. And
does it just give you confidence, like overcoming a fear? Is it like...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Listen, fear is not being prepared. Once you feel prepared, you won't have any more fear. It's so weird.
You think that's the root of all fear?
All right, let me tell you something. I really don't like auditioning the last 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
You know why? Because I can't see.
That reason?
Yeah, I can't see. But what that means, when you go into an audition, you got to either have glasses on or know the lines by heart. I mean, backwards and frontwards.
Which isn't always possible.
But after I've lost so many roles from not knowing the lines and going in there with glasses, that I don't really like auditioning anymore.
Okay.
It's not my strong fit anymore. I'm just going to read for this guy. That fear was ready to start coming up, but I put it in its place because of the confidence. If I do something with my life, then what? Then I got to, you know what I'm saying? I had to give up my little party, and I finally gave up my little party. And now I could look at myself in the mirror, and I got a little bit more confidence, and, it all goes hand in hand. It all goes hand in hand, Lee. So doubt, resistance, it's levels. It goes from doubt to, should I do this? No. It goes from resistance to doubt. I'm sorry.
we were talking, and it's a overused topic on all podcasts now, like how people are mean online. And the thing that got me over it, and the thing that is really the worst part about doubt for me, is I'm meaner to myself in my head than anyone could ever be.
Me too.
Over email.
Me too.
Like it's terrible.
Me too. And I've been mean. When I have doubt, I look at the doubt. I look at the reason. And if the reason's good enough, I let doubt win.
Oyster Cult. Uh-oh.
If I get an anxiety attack or whatever, he cares, And so today I pulled him aside. I go, you doing the competition on Saturday? He goes, no, I don't think so. I go, listen, man, you're here with family. Even if you have an anxiety attack, you're here with family. Nothing bad could happen to you. It's not like you're in Orange County and have an anxiety attack in front of 400 people. Here, it's your family. The reason why I go to Alberto's is because it's family. If I get an anxiety attack and fall backwards, I know Alberto's going to take good care of me.
Right.
He'll give me mouth-to-mouth, ice on my chest, whatever it needs.
Whatever it takes,
you're with family. You know what I'm saying? People ain't going to be scared. They know what your ailments are. They know they watched you breathing for the last year. They know, and even Alberto appreciates what I've been doing lately. I take the middle one, then I end with one, then I stretch. He's like, bro, that's really good that you're doing it from that perspective. It makes you come in here an extra week. You learn how to work smarter. When we've been doing the podcast,
Right.
We've learned how to work smarter. That's what people do. But by not doing it, you're not going to ever learn to do it correctly.
Okay, gotcha.
And these all go back to fear. And okay, you went to college, you're an intelligent dude. How many people want to go to college, get a DA, want to be a DA, they come out. Paula realized it after 90 days.
Yeah.
Paula's not stupid. She goes, you know what? This is going to be tough. I'm going to have to interview again, and it might not be LA. And I guess you told me one time that it wasn't for another 2 years.
Yeah, it's a weird. It's
a weird process. And then you and I were talking here one day, and we were talking about immigration. I go, Lee, just drop it on her. She speaks Spanish.
Yeah.
And sometimes what you thought you were going to do is not what you thought you were going to do. You're really doing it, but not just that field.
Right.
I always thought I was going to be a stand-up.
Really?
I never knew I was going to be in a movie or a TV show. I told you, if I thought that one day you would become famous and go, Joey, you want to be an extra in my movie? Sure, because I thought I would only be an extra. Now I'm acting with people. I've acted with well-known people.
Okay. Did anyone tell you to be an actor when you moved here, or did you do that on your own?
The first manager I had said he was going to send me out an audition.
Yeah.
But he goes, commercials are paying. Now, I never knew about commercials. That's how negligent I was to this whole art game out here. I'd never even thought about commercials, even though you see them every day of your life.
Right. Who acts in those?
And it was film and television. So I thought, oh, well, I won't do any of those. And I came here in January, and by the end of February, I had the best commercial agent at the time, because they all shift.
Oh, yeah,
approached me, and they called my manager, and next thing I had a commercial agent. And if I signed with them on Thursday, I had a commercial that Monday. It was Popeye's Chicken.
Oh, shit.
I went over by Sunset, the bay, right 2 blocks before Fairfax.
Okay.
Going west, there's an audition studio there that's still there. That was my first commercial audition. And I remember walking in there and there being 60 people. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, watch me. Watch my smoke.
Since birth.
I want you to focus on the 30-day, the 90-day, and the 120. That's it. If you need to get a notebook, that's where you start next Thursday. And every week, bop, 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 bop. And I write everything. If I'm angry about something now, I take the notebook, I open it up, and I write the whole story out. And then I read it and I go, what am I mad about? I wish I would have known this when I was 29 years old. I wish I would have known these things, that there's no payoff in worrying. All I want you to do is do. Think about how you're going to do it, and do it. Don't think about nothing. Like
Oh,
this.
no.
Like, for example, you'll come to me and go, oh, this weekend I bought a house, Joey, I'm redoing the downstairs bathroom. I'll say to you, using a plumber. And you'll go, no. I went online and yelped. And this dude said to buy his cassette and do it. All of a sudden, midway during your tiling,
Right, yeah.
you don't know what you're doing.
No.
Now you have to call the plumber, and you have to pay him to do. If you paid the plumber, those type of people come in. New construction, you build. I tell you to come in and build these walls, 12 by 14, all the same. That's what you do. Build me 22 of those, 22 apartments. That's what you do. With remodeling and roofing, like my brother-in-laws. Every time I went on a roof with those guys, I learned something. Like I would sit and everybody would say, listen, if you work with those two dudes, watch them and listen to what they say. It's the small details of their job that really, like when flashing means when you run into piping and air conditioners on a roof. If you don't do those right, they leak and it causes a tremendous problem. They did that extra time that people don't do to get it out of the way. But they faced like when I worked with them, I always learned something. And when I come back, Gray would be waiting for me, or I would go, Gray. And she would come running from wherever she was. And I had treats for her at the top of the stairs. And she'd walk up to the top of the stairs with me. And I'd give her the treats, and I'd pet her for 15, 20 minutes. And I'd go inside with my other cats. And then at night, in the morning, I'd come out, and there she was right there. Right there to hang with me. And one day, she disappeared for a while. And I was concerned. Like, I kept asking my wife, you seen Gray? They go, come on, let's get in the car. And I saw Gray 2 blocks away. And I go, Gray. And the only way we could get her home is if I got out of the car and she followed me home. And the owner of the house was like, I've had this cat for 6 years. This cat don't like nobody. So when she got attacked by the skunk or whatever attacked her, she ended up at the hospital with the infection.
No.
She couldn't live back outside again. So she came to me. She goes, I'm either going to put her in the pound or give her away. Do you want her? She loves you. And I go, no, I'm taking it. And I took Gret. And that was how long? And I'm looking at her today. She's gained 10 pounds. She's clean. She's happy. I saw her kissing Dimmy yesterday. I saw her next to me, and I saw Dimmy walk up to me in the office. And they looked at each other, but they both kissed each other. She likes Dimmy. She likes Harry. She don't like Superbad. She's constantly attacking Superbad. She stays away from the girl. You want to earn more money, right? The holidays are coming. Believe it or not, it's July, but the holidays are coming. Go to Lyft.com right now, /Joey today. Let me ask you something. Times are tough. You got a business? With ZipRecruiter, you can post your jobs to 100+ job sites. I love you guys with all my heart. Without you, I got guts, all right? Get ready to light your wig on fire. We're going deep into the murky waters. I love you guys. Joey here checking in with you, making sure you're straight, you got your life together, everything's tip-top, magoo. Lee Syatt, K5, my little nephew of death. How you doing, my little Christ killer?
I'm doing pretty good.
You look good.
Trying.
You look healthy. Lee's got some news. We'll talk about it later. It was a great weekend. Lee and I went Thursday night. We had a great time. We giggled. Lee got hammered. Kate quickly kissed Lee on the cheek. You guys all got to retweet it and jump up and down. And you predicted a church wedding and the whole fucking deal. So, and I'm not complaining for being busy. Thank God, we're here and everybody's healthy and we're working and we've worked hard towards what's coming in. So I'm not complaining.
It's weird. You're in two completely different industries. Stand-up gets booked a year in advance and acting gets booked a week in advance.
They would give you space with everything. They don't do dick no more. They give out offers, and then whatever's not offered out, they book out in-house, or they know you, or they make you come in, and it always shoots in 2 days, or it shoots in 6 months. Those are not that good either. And I gotta tell you, man, I felt really good about doing it this weekend. I can't tell you why.
That's really awesome, yeah.
Why. I don't know why. And I wanted to talk about it on the podcast. Well, because it's like it took... I want people to understand that for your life to change, it takes patience. And sometimes, man, it takes 3 years. It took me 20 years to change my life. And that was with a monkey on my back. It's like that running back that does 10 yards, fumbles the ball, he recovers it, but he loses 2 yards on the... I just kept doing that for a lot of years. And then it got better and better and better. Then I stopped fumbling the ball. And then I met a good woman, and then eventually it all fell into place. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was just one of those things. So I never want people to understand that you ever get to a place where you're very happy. Now you start thinking about the things you did at one point, and the people you have to make good to, and the people that you owe your friendship to. That's really important to me. I'm getting to that age that I don't want no beefs with these people if something ever happens to me. I want them to know that I really appreciate them at that time in my life. I get mustard. I want to lose weight. Oh, I got $6. The biggest one is love. That's the biggest one. That we meet somebody, we go to dinner 3 times, they're cute, she's cute, everything's okay, she lives close by, you like the dog, she likes your roommate. What is wrong with just hanging out? The problem is, we never state the truth in the beginning of our intentions.
That's very true.
And some women want to know right now, today, and you have to straighten them out too on this. I'm not straightening anybody out, I'm just explaining it. You have to explain to them, this is life. It's 2018. I want you, your control of this life is the paper and the pen. For the 80th time. What you want and how you're going to get there is your whole plan. Everything else, like I was writing today, and I'm writing about when I got arrested, guys, I had nobody to turn to. I would love to tell you the city that Mr. Popular had nobody to turn to. It was a high bail. They wanted a full amount. And the person who came to my aid was somebody who did not like me at all. It was the girl I was dating's father. Him and I didn't see eye to eye. Why? Want me to tell you why? I was a car detailer who had just become a car salesman, dating his daughter, who he enrolled in Arizona State to be in the business management program. And she dropped out to date a dude like me. Now she was cutting hair. Okay, he didn't want that poor little sweet girl around an animal like me.
Right.
But he bailed me out of prison. He bailed me out of county jail. By him showing up, they dropped the bail $47,000. And the next thing you know, I was out of county jail.
Wow, that's amazing.
The moral of the story was, life happens. But you have to let it happen.
Oh, no.
And what I usually do is get a 3-section notebook. So the first 2 sections were my morning whatever. And I would start backwards, Chinese style.
What do you mean?
So I would start from, I don't want nobody to see it, so you never start on the first page. So I would start on the last page of the second chapter.
Chinese style?
Yeah, and then the last chapter would be my spots.
I don't know, this is bigger than 21, this is bigger than 25, this is, I don't know.
In life, everybody has hang-ups, Lee.
Right. I have a lot of them.
I have a lot of them, too. We all have different hang-ups. And the fucking funny thing is when we overcome them, you know, in your mind, what do you expect at 30? When you wake up, it's July, 12th or something?
What do you mean, my
What's
birthday?
your birthday? Yeah.
20th.
All right, July 20th, when you wake up that morning, when I call you up and say, wake up, cocksucker, we're going taking it deep. And I'm like, are you awake? And you're like, yeah, I've been up for an hour. No, you haven't. Wake up, you fuck. The sun's shining. Oh, yeah, by the way, it's your birthday. What do you think is going to feel? What do you think is going to happen when you go into the age void of 30?
I don't know.
What do you expect? I mean, let's write it out. Let's get it out. What the fuck do you expect is going to happen?
Well,
what's going to be different, my brother?
About being 30?
Yes. What's going to be different?
Honestly, the one thing that's really going to change is the health thing is scaring me. I know I ate a lot of shitty food, but like the health of the 30, like there's people who've died at 29 of heart attacks, and so that's scaring me. The rest of it is not more about like what is gonna happen. It's like just it's like what I was saying earlier, just what I expected from myself, and I just get negative about like you said, about what I should have done earlier, what I'll be doing later, and then with like especially like the birthday, like that was with what happened this weekend with Paula was tough, just because I'm like it's gonna be the 5 years that we spent together were like 5 big years in my life, so it's just weird.
Well, I'm very sorry. I'm happy you got it out. Again, you know, you're getting out of a relationship. What do you expect is going to happen? You learn a lot about yourself. Life is a great fucking thing. Life is fucking great.
How you like me now?
How you like me now, Lisa? Yeah. I finally grew into my age of 54 years old. I grew up, I could tell you officially when I grew up, at 47. At 47 was when I finally, you know, you got to remember, I didn't fail as a plumber or an artist, or my business didn't fail, or I failed as a man, which is the worst failure you could fail. People come back from failing as a painter or as a radio host or as a comic, or they lose a contest. But it's pretty hard to come back when you failed as a man.
What do you mean you failed as a man?
I failed as a husband. I failed as a man. I failed to fight what I believed for because I thought I was going to lose. But at the same time, I became a stand-up comic. So I don't really know if there's a loss in there. But in my mind, I lost. I lost as I failed at marriage. I was a failure at that point in my life. And that scarred me more than my mother's death. And I was a failure who not only that lost his kid, like your friend. When you were telling the story before, I've been where he's been, where your wife don't let you see the kids. And you got to come up with attorney money. You got to come up with attorney money to see your kids. It's going to cost you your life savings.
It's like if you had hung around.
You have no idea.
Because the kids are teenagers.
I was a complete different person in 1995 to 19. I was angry for 4 years. Like deep, embedded anger. Which meant if you cut me off by mistake, you got double of what you really deserved. If you did something to me by mistake, I went off on you 10 times harder than what really was going on. That anger was impairing my fucking vision. It was impairing who I was. But you do have the right to get that angry. They're taking your kids from you. You know what? You don't love me, Lee? I get it, brother. I get it. You know what? I was starting to have doubts about you too. But do me a favor. Have your sister bring the kids to fucking the Burger Hut and let me see them for an hour and just talk to them and ask them about what they want to do, how they feel that all this is going on. Don't alienate from me. I still live in a lot of pain from what happened with me 20 years ago. My daughter turned 28 years old yesterday. I sent a happy birthday on all the platforms that I have. Every year I'm going to send a happy birthday, tell her I love her, and tell her they brainwashed her. That's not the person who I was. It really wasn't. You know, if she contacts me back, she contacts me back. If she doesn't, life goes on. It's not going to drag me down. I'm not going to go to a psychiatrist. I'm too old to do drugs and snort coke and drink myself into an oblivion. I can't do that. I got responsibilities. I have another daughter. God gave me a second chance to be a man, which is a very big fucking chance. I want to thank you guys for starting the year off on a bang. This is your year, motherfucker. You got a problem, write it down, take a look at it, analyze it, and go back to scratch. You got this. We'll see you guys Wednesday. Stay black. It's your time, cocksuckers. Stay black. Great to be here. Syatt, what's happening?
I had a great weekend. I went to the to a minor league baseball game. You made fun of me for. I did something weird today. I went swimming. I haven't like I took swimming classes as a kid, and I know I physically know how to swim, but I could only do like one length at a time, and I was out of breath. I ended up doing 5 total, but it took me like 30 minutes. I'd take breaks, and my legs almost collapsed in the pool. I've never been that sore immediately during a workout.
You know, with swimming, it's all form, and that's what people don't realize. With everything, when you really come to think about it, it's so much form. But swimming, like powerlifting, it's all a form where you're gonna hurt yourself. I always tell people, if you get into powerlifting or kettlebells, do it the first time with somebody who really knows them and could watch you, so you don't hurt yourself. Because once you hurt yourself with those, with swimming, I did the same thing. I was gonna get locked up. I wanted to be in the best shape I could be in.
Right.
And I thought I knew what I knew, and it took like 6 weeks to reteach me how your legs have to be straight, your hips have to be up a little bit because your legs have to be on top of the wall. These are all things that require strength, and you have to develop that strength over time. So it's not going to happen in one day.
I have the same weakness on the front. My left doesn't barely goes up. My right goes up like a champ, but my left is like a little.
You have to get a kickboard, a paddle board, and hold on to it.
Okay.
And just do 20 minutes of kicking. Your body will automatically teach itself how to float above, so your hips will be a certain way, so you'll kick naturally. Because that's going to be the clinker. You'll see that for you to kick naturally how they want you to kick, your knees have to be slightly bent. There's little things that people do that make you look like a cheap fuck that'll drive a woman crazy. A woman wants security, and here you want to play it cheap with her security in the beginning. There's no cheapness in the security in the beginning. In the beginning, if the tab is $20, you're leaving a $10 tip because you're trying to impress this woman. Or even a $5 tip. You know, it shows that you care. It shows that you're cool with women.
Oh, I'm a big tipper, but like when I was broke, I don't know. I guess I didn't see a problem with it.
You don't want to take a Groupon on your first date or your first 2 dates.
Yeah, maybe not the first date, I guess.
Unless you say it at the table. You know what, man? And then crack a joke. Like, well, I've been single for so long, I've been eating Groupon dinners. And she's like, oh my God, so have I. Maybe we should get a Groupon for 2. Yes, let's do it and beat the system. Okay. Now you found yourself a half a mutt, just like you, that's going to go out and torment waiters. Because even if you get a Groupon at a restaurant,
right,
I always leave the tip to make up the difference.
Oh, and like what it would have cost?
Yeah, like you try to leave the tip to make up the difference. Why you going to walk around with a hole in your neck? Who's going to invite you to parties? You know what I'm saying? You know what, man, salesmen at those call-outs make a lot of money. I used to make a lot of money. I worked at one of those. I got fired after 3 weeks. But those 3 weeks I was there, I made like $4,000 or something. Jesus,
have you seen that video? I don't know where it is. It's this black guy who's running a car lot, but it's like all beaters cars. He's like, I don't want to hear about the radiator in 3 weeks. I don't care about this. Like it's just you're buying.
Just listen, you're buying a car. Some people want a car for $800. What do you think $800 gets you in a car? 2 seats, a broken glass, and a headlight with tape on it. But that's what you could afford, and that's what you need. You just need a car to get you back and forth. When I first started comedy on the triple runs, I got myself a Datsun B210 with air conditioning and AM/FM and cassette. What? I don't need power windows. I just need 4 tires and 4 brakes.
Isn't that the one that the body split in half, though?
A couple times. A couple things happened to that car.
I guess that's what happens. How much fun did you have driving all over the country? I mean, I know you were working, and I know you were probably broke, but it just seems like so much fun just to get to like drive around the country.
We talked about this on the show a few weeks ago. I'm very fortunate that I got to know every nook and cranny. You have no idea when you drive 70% of it. Like you figure,
you really get to see the country.
You get to see different people, some that are just god-awful and some that are just tremendous for dirt cheap. You get to meet personalities, in different places. I've been to Army bases. I think it was fantastic. Do I remember 90% of the people I met? No. There's times I think of certain people that I met and I go, I wonder where they are now, I was living my life. I was enjoying myself around my friends, but I was hurting, man.
Same thing with Chris Cornell. It's always the outside looks great.
I was hurt. I mean, I was dying inside. By that time, I was going home at night, and before I would go to where I was staying, I would walk up to my old house and just look at the windows and see if maybe she went home and she didn't call me. You know, it was just a psychological fight that I was doing. Nobody understands unless you've been through this, you know. So one of the best and worst times in my life was after my mother died.
The best?
Well, I got to really experience people. I was learning something that most people don't learn till they're way out of high school and maybe in college. And when my mother died, I started experiencing people, you know, at the lowest common denominator. Like, these were people that were my friends, and now they've become my brothers. And I was having a great time hanging out with Didi Quintero at that time. At that time, you know, it started at school, and we walked home together, or he went to wrestling practice, and I went home and hung out and did what I did and put money together to get a package that night, and I team up with him about 7:30. I'm going to give you a starter package free.
Sampler bag.
R-E-E, sample pack. You got 3 little bags. So everybody has that. It's the guy that tells the wife and strings her along that he's a millionaire. Then marries her, and he makes this whole thing of how she can't see his books. No, you got to be honest with them. You know, I mean, that's one of the white lies you'll never get out of. It's about telling them that you're something that you're not, in that sense. I was a dentist. Nah, I'm really a dental assistant. You know.
Is how someone could do something. It happens all the time. If you find out that a principal gets fired because they fake their resume, or just something weird. Like, I don't understand how people could do that. And I mean, I guess before the internet you could get away with it, but not now.
I faked my resume for 15 years, but it wasn't for
high-level jobs.
No. Could I have done it and maybe got away with it? Yeah. Because you got to assume they don't check. You have to assume they don't check.
I've never had
You have to assume maybe they'll call a personal reference.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, when your friend know, or what do you have to tell before you pull like the George Costanza and like tell your friend to be like, yeah, I know how to drive a forklift, or yeah, I know how to, like, did you ever lie like that? Like, yeah, I have this certification, or?
I think I lied once or twice when it came to work. But if you look somebody in the eye and you go, listen, bro, I don't know how to do that, but I'm willing to learn.
Oh, yeah, they love it.
They love it. So that's how I overcame that stuff.
I remember having to, like, sweep out. I remember one July 4th having to sweep out a storeroom at a CVS. Like, but I miss those kind of jobs, too, to be honest with you.
It's no pressure job. You go in there, you get a salary, you know what you're going to walk with. You know, for you, a guy like you go to 3 or 4 movies a week, don't you?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, you go to 3 or 4 movies a week.
I would go every day.
Every fucking day you go see a movie. So for a guy like you think you're getting 200 a week just in the movies and the Raisinets. Just in the movie and the Raisinets, you think you're getting a bargain.
Well, yeah. I mean, if I could have somehow, I think that's the job, if I could have somehow stayed in being a teenager, but could live on what I was making at a movie theater, it was the most fun I ever had. And those people are just some of my best friends.
I had a lot of jobs that were fun. But those jobs that are usually fun, you pay your rent, you make your car payment, and you struggle the rest of the month. Oh, my God. That's the problem with fun jobs. And one day you come to that realization, you go, Jesus Christ, my uncle just offered me a job at $15 an hour, but I got a job that I get $8.50 an hour, and it's so much fun. And you know, that's what happens. And after 2 or 3 years, you know, if I want to have fun, I got a skateboard and put a blindfold on and go downhill. As long as I had coke and weed, I didn't need money in my pocket. I could always get a free drink at the comedy store. As long as I had coke and weed, everything else fell into place.
That's like a motivational poster.
Listen, man, I know a lot of you are at home. You're sitting there, you're listening to the podcast, you're thinking about the summer and what you want to do or whatever. Lyft is a ride-sharing company that believes in treating its people better. You know what? I need to make a lot of money. Then you know what? Start drinking coffee and get out there. /Joey, $500 new driver bonus. /Joey, I'm gonna get you a $500 new driver bonus. When I called you yesterday, what did you get from Blue Apron?
Oh, I got a great box this week. We made spicy chicken tenders with mashed potatoes and green beans.
Okay.
This on Friday night. It was delicious.
So you only get the deliveries that you want when you want them. Collard greens and Thai basil. There you have it. A little Michael Sheng, the old school for you. You got Uncle Joey. You got my sidekick, the Flying Jew, eating his little Jew corp drops. You got like 10 bags, $2 at CVS.
You gotta get the good deal.
Gotta get the Lutens. You know what I'm saying? Vicks. They've been around. Jesus took Vicks once he left the cave. Vicks vapor rub on your chest. You do a couple bong hits.
You want to put some vapor rub on my chest for me?
Not really. I don't do that type of shit. You got the wrong guy. Go hang out with your little buddies over there in North Hollywood. I'm sure you'll find somebody to rub some vapor rub on your ass. Anyway, it was a great week. I want to thank Dean Delray for putting me on the show at the Avalon with Nikki Sixx and Rudy Sarzo and the guy from Anthrax. You know, get involved in my daughter's life, and I got the podcast and the road. But the other night when I was at that show, something hit me that we had discussed on the podcast about a year and a half ago with Rudy. And it's not that I didn't buy into it. It's that I didn't think it was that important. And that's the element of live music. Listen, man, what we did growing up in North Bergen was go to concerts at Madison Square Garden. When these guys call in, Avillo or fucking Timmy the Teamster or these guys, we went to we were blessed to have the opportunity to go to a lot of shows, man. And I mean, I went to see everybody from Kenny Rogers to fucking Iron Maiden. And I would go, and it wasn't... Something happened, like in the mid-'80s, where I don't know. I don't know what happened. I became a criminal, and I didn't think the live shows were that important anymore. I mean, I had friends that lived for that shit. When the people I hung out with in Snowmass, when I first moved to Snowmass, you worked Monday through Friday. And Saturday morning, in the middle of the night, you left for Colorado Springs or Denver or, you know, Fort Collins, and you'd catch a band live. You know, these guys traveled. You never taken her there, right?
No.
Why would you? Why would you?
Why
would you? Why would you? Why would you?
You get mad at me for going to home?
Who are confused that you think that you're going to take a shortcut and your life is going to change. And guess what? I used to be the same too. And I got burnt 3 or 4 times and I stopped shortcutting. I realized that the main goal of a comedian is to be the funniest person he could be. When I came out here, I booked a pilot and I booked a big-time commercial. But one night I got the shit kicked out of me at the Improv in between Nick DiPaolo and Doug Stanhope. And I'll never believe that night, I remember wanting to leave in the middle of the night just to disappear on the road to become a better comic. Like I took any gig I could for 2 years on the road, from 98 to 2001. I did every gig hole I could because I knew the payoff was going to be funny. It wasn't about the movies. It wasn't about the TV. And that's what I see the biggest fault in this town is with comedians, that they do comedy for 5 or 6 years. They kind of get good on it. Then they get a show and they stop doing comedy. The show ends. Now they can't get work. And they want to fall back on comedy, but they're 6 years behind. You really get to understand what people want.
Yeah, that's
and
all.
They don't want you. They don't want you. They want Rogan. They don't want you. They're just putting smoke up your ass to try to put a reality show together or whatever mind fuck they put in their mind.
I've gotten some of those. Even before the podcast, I worked on Hell's Kitchen once, and this girl that I went to high school with was a chef. And she wanted me to introduce her to Gordon. I was an assistant editor. I never met Gordon Ramsay. But people think, I don't know. It just, it kind of does make you sad.
It makes you sad. And then when they realize that they can't get nothing from you, then there's no more conversation. And that makes you even sadder. You go, wow, that's all you were about. You know, that's all you were about.
You said something to me last week. You said, like, anyone who texts me, Happy Easter. Like you like Donnie. I wish they wouldn't even text me. Like you can see that that's all they're doing it for.
Yeah, no. You want to text somebody Happy Easter. It's the weirdest thing when people text you Merry Christmas. And especially when it's like a group text. You're like, really? That's what burns me up about that stuff. But no, when you go through all these levels as a comic, and even now with the podcast, it's hilarious how when I'm going to go to a town, I'll get 3 emails from people to do a podcast. Like, so you want me to get in a car with a guy that I don't know if he just smoked meth to go to somebody's basement to do a podcast because you're going to get me high. Wow.
Would you used to, though? Maybe not a podcast, but would you get in the stranger's car?
No. They work at the club. They know somebody who's selling blow. But to do a podcast, I don't know you. I don't know you. I don't know your fucking podcast. I don't know who you are. What you do is you take the toenail and you get some toe jam and you mix it all together like a toe ball. And you sniff that fungi nail. Yakima, Washington is considered the Palm Springs of Washington.
Okay.
I had a gig there one night. And I walk into the fucking hotel room. I lock the door. I put my luggage down. I'm happy as shit. It's a nice hotel. When I look in the bed, it's one of those beds that if you put a quarter in it, it shakes.
Oof. I never even saw one of those.
Yeah, this is how young you are. Like, guys, in the 70s and 60s, when you checked into a hotel room, you could put quarters in the fucking head frame, and the bed would rattle. And it was like a mini massage.
That's what it was?
Yeah, it was.
I thought it was a sex thing. Oh, my God.
And maybe even a sex thing. I don't know. I was too fucking young.
I saw it in Dumb and Dumber. That's the only place.
But I went to this hotel in Yakima, Washington, I looked at this bed, and I was like, holy shit. I go, let me try it. And I put the fucking quarter in. I put the first quarter in. It didn't work. And then I banged it a couple times. And you know me being me, I put the second quarter in, I banged it, and finally it started fucking shaking. And it just made fucking noise like I don't know what I weighed. I probably weighed 250 at the time, 240. It was like you with the zip line. It was just too much. And the thing kept making noises, and finally it fucked up. So that night I remember going up on stage. I was laughing my ass off because I was high. I went up on stage and I fucking said, it's great to be in Yakima. I went to my hotel room. It was a massage bed. I put a quarter in it. I woke up with a thumb in my ass, like something stupidly. Because the Palm Spring. That's how bad I was, people. That's what I'm trying to say to you. I had no joke writing skills, but I had a way of saying something that I would hook on to something, and if God was smiling on me, I'd have 3 tags. And then eventually I would add, for years I did that Palm Springs joke. I forget it now, I'm not saying it right. Something happens. I put a quarter in there and I had a thumb up my ass. That's the Palm Spring of Washington. I don't know. Bro, we all go through a lot of suffering. Please forgive me for that joke, but that's just to let you know I was no fucking Picasso, and you got to stay with it, $7.99 a month. What? $7.99 a month. What? $7.99 a month. When I was a shagger, I was already detailing cars. I just wasn't a detailer by pay. But it didn't matter to me because I was still learning what to do. If you just went from shagging to detailing, it was like a 3-week money contingency that you would lose money like a motherfucker. I already lost the money. When they would say who prepped that car, in those days we would prep them off the ship.
Oh, okay.
When you prep a car off the ship, it's completely different. It has like cosmoline on it. It may be different today. And all the seats are wrapped. You got to do all that shit. And you got to screw in the mirrors. And there's a lot of shit you got to do when a car comes off the ship. It just don't come off looking like fucking Johnny Forever. There's 1,000 things you got to do. The cosmoline was the worst because you had to spray a certain chemical on it, let it sit for 6 or 7 minutes, then rub it out fucking good, wash it again, do another coating, wash it again, then you had to give it a quick hand wax. And they would pay you like $24. You were a subcontractor.
For each car?
For each car. It was like 24 for new cars and 55 for used cars. And they got $149 for the detail. You got $55. But if you could detail 3 fucking cars in one day, you didn't do bad.
Is that possible?
Oh yeah, I could detail 3 fucking cars in one day and 2 new ones.
Wow.
If I knew that there was a bunch of new cars, I'd get there at 6 in the morning, and I'd get 2 or 3 new cars, and then I'd get 2 used ones, and I'd fucking work them, Jack. We haven't done an old school one in a while. I know a lot of people ask me for them, so bam, there you have it, my main man Lee. Oh, I know he's got bronchitis. He came all half a fact in here with the juke cough drop. He even came in here with the fucking daytime NyQuil, like he's trying to impress me. If he was a real gangster, he'd show up with the night one, the triple X one. That kills bugs, it kills fucking hand jobs from Chinese people. That's the one you come in. He comes in here with the orange one.
It's daytime.
And then he wouldn't take a fucking edible or a bomb.
I took an edible.
He said, people I gotta deal with.
Give me credit, I took an edible.
Gotta deal with. He had bronchitis 3 months ago.
No, I didn't.
When he called me, the first thing he said to me was, I got
year ago.
bronchitis. I can't go to the gym for a week. And I'm like, this fucking sack of shit. He's fucking trying to bullshit me. But now he's got bronchitis. He won't do a fucking bongarooski. I don't know why, but that don't matter anyway. Who gives a shit? All that matters is you, motherfuckers. Thank you for listening. Fuji Sports has been around since Jesus left Chicago. Anything you need jiu-jitsu. Leg things for Muay Thai, shorts, a gi, on it till the end. I got the Alpha Brain. They got some tremendous jerky. And press in.
Church.
Stay black. Kick that mule, Lee. Do your thing, Lee. It's Tuesday morning. Here we go. Church, what's happening now? Move your fingers. Watch your wallet. They're pickpocketing people at Coachella. Church of what's happening now, coming at you. April 25th, 2017. Go! Uncle Joey here with my main man of death, Lee Syatt, over there coughing up lungs.
Well, you give me the same bong hits that you take. I need to take light. I see all these people online taking bong hits, and they go, and they take like a little puff of a cloud, and they don't. I need to start doing that.
Those are the same people who get allergies. They put knee pads on when they ride bicycles. They don't take a chance. You gotta take a chance when you smoke reefer. Columbus did, all right?
I'm taking a chance. You never take a break. You make everyone feel like every time you call, it's like I have to. Even at night, sometimes I'm like, you call, I have to have some work I was doing or something. Like you're always doing something.
Well, I break up the day into 8 pieces. You know what I'm saying? So you do
8 pieces.
You do an hour and a half here, an hour and a half there, an hour and a half here, an hour and a half there. You go to write for an hour and a half. You're outside in the sun. You come back. I go on the computer. I sit down later on. I send emails in the morning. Your day is always organized, so you don't rot to death.
Right.
I don't try to do 3-hour chunks. When I was trying to write this special those months, I had that back pain. It was because I was sitting.
Oh, really?
Because I was sitting in chairs at Denny's. I was going to coffee shops. I was going to bars. I was always sitting down writing, so I had to figure something out. So now I just do it in short spurts because it drives me crazy anyway. I'd rather write a paragraph and get up and take a walk than sit there for 4 hours and burn out.
Yeah, it's hard. My hardest part is getting started. Once I'm working, I'm fine, but I think that's why people love Adderall so much. And I never tried it, and maybe I should have. But like, I'll sit there for 8 hours doing like spinning pens, doing anything but the work I'm supposed to be doing.
No, sure. What the fuck you think you're dealing with? I was like that too for a while, and I didn't need Adderall. I just needed to eat. So when you need to eat. And by that time, I had been arrested in New Jersey already.
That's what I'm saying.
For possession of stolen tools.
Stolen tools.
Yeah, like burglary tools. So I had already been arrested in Jersey. And now I got arrested in New York a month later, but I'm getting out of there on my own recognizance. Because I told them I'd been arrested in Jersey, so everybody knew. They knew how to find me.
You almost have the whole tri-state area.
Yeah, so I almost have the whole tri-state area. So now I got to go to court in New York City. And I walk in there, and the dude goes, boom, deferred sentence. So help me God. They go, all right, go see the court clerk. I went to see the court clerk. She gave me like 3 sheets of paper. One of them had a number. And he goes, call this number between 48 hours or there will be an arrest warrant put on you. And I went home and I called the guy the next morning. Why wait the 48 hours? I called him the next morning. I called him like 4 times, left messages, called his receptionist, and they said he'll get back to you in time. He called me up and he goes, what's going on with your life? I told him. He goes, was this your first arrest? No, I got arrested the month before. This is all done on the phone, dog. I'm in shock. I thought I had to hang up, and he was giving me an address to go report to. He goes, this is what I want you to do. What's today's date?
That's kind of scary.
And that was it. And we did that. We did that maybe 3 or 4 times. And he goes, listen.
Your probation's over?
Yeah, don't call no more.
Are you sure you weren't calling? It sounds like you were calling one of your buddies.
No, we just call him and talk to him.
It is kind of crazy when you think of, like, just if you, like, going into a restaurant. And I guess obviously not everyone who's on probation is a terrible person, but you don't know who's in, like, everywhere just walking around. They just have to call a probation officer once a month.
Well, now it's completely different.
Oh, okay.
Now probation is a little bit more monitored. You know, probation is what I call a rope. When I tell you I'm going to give that person a rope,
right,
that's probation. That means that you're going to hang yourself with it or you're going to pull yourself in. Like 7 out of 10 times when they give you probation, not even, no, I'm lying. I say 6 out of 10 times. When you get probation, you get arrested.
Let me see if I can Google it.
Yeah, it's a tremendous risk. I had no idea what I was selling. There was a sheet of paper, and they tell you what to read on there.
You have to say the names of the things or something.
Yeah, it's a hot seller, and you compare it to something. I don't remember. I don't remember nothing, Lee.
I like the cinematography in this one.
This is 98, 97. I don't know nothing. But anyway, to make them long story short, across from there was a building that today is gorgeous. But in 98, when I got here, I remember pulling in into the underground parking, and I'm like, oh my God. When we walked up the step, there was a little condom.
At least it had parking.
I'm like, Jesus. Yeah, but no, they rob your car. What good is having parking if you're going to rob a car? And we'd walk up the steps to this elevator. Then you pressed in and you went upstairs. And the whole building, you know the building we were in on Lancashire?
Right.
That's what it was.
But worse.
That's my agency. People were taking naked pictures in there. Oh. They had private investigators in there. You know, it was just a greasy building. And here's the agency. And I open up the door with my manager at the time. And he goes, listen to me. It's not the agency. It's the agent. He goes, excuse me. He goes, this lady. He goes, I've been here and I've been there and I got my own management company. And this lady is a pit bull.
Jesus. And yeah, I guess it really doesn't matter.
Jewish lady.
But it's scary.
It didn't matter. Like she called in. She had been at a big agency for like 10 years. She knew everybody in town. And one day she got sick and tired of wearing a dress. She was on my phone every day pushing me. And she specialized in comedy character actors. So her and I clicked right off the bat. We must have booked 15 things together. That's how good and precise she was.
I'm surprised she's not still one of your agents.
Why you giggling, Lee?
Lulu Plus.
Hulu.
Gratis.
Hulu.
Gratis.
Hulu.
2 semanas.
Hulu. HULU+.com. Even then. Like I was here for maybe a year and I popped that Taco Bell commercial. That Taco Bell commercial was huge. It was everywhere. Did they see me? For a split second, if you had an eagle eye and contact lenses, binoculars, and a NASA telescope, that's the only way you could see me in this commercial. But guess what? Way before the computer, I told everybody at that store. And then people would come up to me and go, I saw you in that, I saw you in that. So it was really crazy, Lee. You'd have to be that fast to see me. But that was the first thing I booked. I shot the pilot for CBS. And then I popped basketball. So I remember still auditioning for basketball, calling him afterward and going, you're not going to believe what happened. I just auditioned for basketball. And he goes, listen, if you get that movie, that's going to be good for you. Where's Tony Bennett? That weed was strong tonight.
Yes, it was.
22 to life, no parole. You understand me, Lisa? What's going on? We hung out in the same clique. and we liked Chinese food, and we would go to White Castle at night, and we giggled. And she had a boyfriend, and I had whatever I had going on. But I kind of took an interest in her, and we became friends. We kept it at that. So, then 2 nights before I left, it was like a Tuesday, I saw her out. And I pulled her outside, and I go, listen, do me a favor. Don't say nothing to nobody. And she was cool. Like, I'm going to Colorado with Jimmy Burkle.
You weren't worried about her ratting you out or people finding you?
No. I trusted her that much, man. I trusted her that much. At that time, I knew that even if she said something, nobody was going to take a helicopter to Colorado to come get me. Nobody was taking a plane to Colorado. When you said the word Colorado to those people in those days, you might as well tell them Jupiter. It's the same distance in there. I thought I was going to get a job bartending, or I could be the life of the party and pour drinks and make $200-300 a night and do that 3-4 nights a day and snort coke and wear like a vest and try to be cool with the ladies, but that never panned out for your Uncle Joey.
That plane really does.
Nah, every job I got, they made me work like on off days. Like, I had a good job as a bartender, but it wasn't the bartending I necessarily wanted to do. I wanted to do small pub type bartending where you know everybody, but it didn't really matter, Lee.
In my head, by the time I'm 54, I want to have some time where it's a little bit more relaxed.
Well,
like
let's worry about that when you get to 54.
Right, yeah, I'm not that worried about right now.
Worry about when you're 28. That's the other thing. Whenever you think ahead of time, all that thinking I did was a waste of time because I never thought about the podcast. I never even saw it coming, and here we are 5 years later. So don't think about nothing because you never know what life's got down the corner. As long as you stay positive and you're willing to try new things, you never know, Lee. You understand me? Yeah. Now, talking about working hard, you need to rest. Night after night, 2 people lay in the same bed like 2 mooks. But when it comes time to buy a new mattress, only one gets their way. Until now, introducing Helix Sleep, where you can buy mattress online, customized for both of you. Lee, what are you giggling about, Lee?
I'm not trying to. I'm just giggling. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, you're enjoying it. All right, that's what I need for you to have an enjoyment over here. While I'm trying to read and struggle here. I'm looking at Lee, and Lee's looking sharp tonight. He's got a blue sweater on. His beard is tight. He's got a few spots on his head, but when doesn't he have some ailment? It's either a spot in his head or the fucked eyebrow or the ingrown toenail on the eyeball. It's always something with this poor guy. Anyway, but what Lee is sporting, with all new fairness, is a beautiful MVMT watch. There you go. I want to thank you, Savages, for always being there for us. Tonight we decided just to go old school, chit-chat, see what's on each other's mind, be very je ne sais quoi. Wednesday, November 1st, you understand me? You're like, what, 55 days away from Christmas? The year's going to sneak up on you quick. Anyway, welcome to the Church of What's Happening Now. It's old school today. Myself and my little trusted Christ killer, the original, Lee Syatt.
The one and only.
The one and only.
You're having another surgery?
On my ear.
Oh, no.
They're putting a tube in my ear to drain my ear so I don't have lumbago no more, so I don't have this dizziness.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, it's scary, so I'm done. There's some people who want to do everything, right, in life. There's people who want to be doctors.
Right.
You know, Trump wanted to do this. You know, everybody wants to do something. But there's some people who just want to coexist. I was always one of those people. That I was very happy by coexisting. What does that mean? If you need $600 for rent, $200 for your car payment, and $300 for groceries, you make $100 more a month than that. Like, I was pretty satisfied to live my life like that. I can't lie to you.
And you didn't have anxiety about running out of money?
You always have anxiety, but I thought that I would have it for life, so I just got used to it. But that anxiety makes your heart beat, and it makes you get up off your ass.
I was thinking about that today. Like, whenever I had like a job I didn't like or something, every time I was worried about it and I quit, not magically, but something would come along. Like a couple times it happened that very day. Like the day I quit, I got a call for another job. And I think what you're saying, it's very true for 20-year-olds, but I think it's also true. Isn't it true you change your career like 7 times throughout your life? So what if you're 35, 45?
Unless you get fired 6 times.
Right.
And then you have to change your career. I can't see you changing your career.
I got you.
Terrible. But, I had to make assessments. When I tried to make assessments of my life when I was getting high, it wasn't going to work because I was getting high.
Because you were making the assessments when you were sober?
Yeah, but I'm still getting high.
Gotcha.
The fumes of that cocaine will always help to make or destroy that decision, that what you're lacking of. And it could be for opioids. This is all the same. It's not just, I don't want people to go, oh, he's talking about coke. No, it could be for opioids. It could be for it could be any, I've learned to be a functioning addict with marijuana, as you've noticed. Like, it just spurts me. It makes me even strong. It's like a steroid for me. There's always people that have been hustlers, that have gone to work for somebody, have learned the trade 8, 9, 10 years. If I come work for you at the age of 18, and I do a 10-year apprenticeship, not an apprenticeship, just come to work for your dad's clothing store. If Dick Syatt had the biggest men's fashioneer in Boston, and he sold upgrade suits, if I came to work for you at 18, I'd start in a stock room in the back, stocking shelves, inventory, that stuff. After a while, you might make me a sales assistant, then a couple other years, a registered dude. And after that, you make me a salesman, assistant manager. Now I'm the general manager. That could happen.
Well,
that could happen in today's fucking world. Really good comics like Joe Rogan, for example, Chris Rock. A lot of these guys go home and listen to their recordings. That's brutal. You have no idea what that's like. I listened to that from the Ice House the other night. It's brutal. Especially when the girl raised her hand and said I was talking about the Vegas victims. And I go,
my mom is a lawyer.
My mom is a lawyer. What's that got to do with your mom? She didn't want to be there all night. And that didn't. That's why I didn't feel bad. See, 15 years ago, I would have worried about her for 3 days.
Afterwards, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't worry about people like that no more because I know the look on their face. They didn't want to be there anyway. He dragged her there against her will. He made her go. You never taken her there, right?
No.
Why would you? Why would you?
Why
would you? Why would you? Why would you?
You get mad at me for going to home.
This is L.A. You're going to get every half-wit rich kid to put on a Guns N' Roses shirt and rip it and make believe they even know half the story. That's what they do in L.A. now. That's what these kids do. They don't know half the history. They just want to be cool and tell their friends they went to the concert.
Oh, okay.
So they buy a GNR shirt, they rip it, and they go down there. Have they ever done a shot of heroin to the first album? No. They ever do an 8-ball while they listen to Sweet Child of Mine? No. Did they go see Nova? Do they
How
even
dare
know?
they even go?
Do they even know Use Your Illusion 1 and 2? No.
Doubt it.
But that's what they do. They get dressed up, they wear the outfit, and they go down there and they make believe they fit in.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
And a fan like you, who really is somebody somewhere that really grew up a fan of those guys, he can't afford the $300 ticket. So who do you see there? The Kardashians. All with the get-up on. With I Love Pink Floyd get-up. Anything you do in this area here, you got to add that level of it up. It happens in every city. It happens in every city where people just go and they make believe and it was great.
What did you like most about those jobs, like the construction jobs you did?
I was 18. I was 19. I was built like a bull. I was living in New Jersey. I was doing nothing with my life. Now I'm living in Colorado and I'm getting sun. And I'm sleeping in a little bedroom and I got like 1 mattress. And I maybe got 5 or 6 pair of pants. And I got a couple sweatshirts and I got maybe a couple pair of shorts and 2 pair of sneakers and a pair of winter boots. I didn't have a TV in that room. But I had that job. And that was way better than the life I was living in New Jersey. I didn't have any mice. I had a refrigerator,
But did you like the job itself? Like, did you find the work satisfying?
At that age, yeah.
Because I think it would be.
And then I got a job being a hottie. That was the second time I was a hottie, and I worked for Chip Chilson Masonry. And that was a great job. That was one of my all-time favorite jobs. Chip Chilson was a mason. He had a good scam going on, okay? He was a mason that did brick, but he had another guy who would fly in from New Zealand. He was the artiste. He was a great guy. So it was me, Chip, the guy from New Zealand, and another dude that was a brick mason, and it was me and another hottie. And then you both got promoted, and they would hire other hotties, and you became a brick mason for Chip Chilson. But there was a problem. Chip Chilson was a professional skier, so he would take off every October. So after October 15th, you were dead no matter what.
He wouldn't have anyone take over for him?
No. He wouldn't let a job exist without him on the job. That killed me.
Right. But
and he would give you unemployment, and then he would call you back like in March.
That's a long break.
And in March, you'd shovel snow for a month. I think April, you started building, but he would do you 60 hours a week from April till October. He was solid. Nothing over 3 feet. You know, that was a great job. You're always moving. You're always outside. You're drinking water. You're scooping with a shovel and loading brick. 8 bricks in each arm, you know, carrying it up 2 levels with tongs, you know, with the brick tongs. And at that time, they didn't teach that course. A lot of people didn't teach because what everybody would tell you to do was to learn on the job, but at the same time, go to a VOTEC school and learn how to do it at night. So,
wow.
Yeah, you go at night.
So by the time you get promoted, you're decent at it?
You're a decent at it, yeah. Like gnawing it like a dog. They made you take an apprenticeship program. You learn how to mix mud, add colors to it, scaffold, and then you became a mason's helper, and you got a raise. And when you became a mason's helper, you were going to school the whole time. They would pay you to go to school. Like $6 an hour a night to go to school. This is 20, 30 years ago, people. The union would pay you to take courses.
That's great.
And the more of those things that you took, it was better for your career as a union electrician.
It like gave you extra credits or something?
It gave you extra credits.
Do you think...
That's why I think America's lacking right now. I think America's lacking that VOTEC type of support.
Well, don't you think those kind of jobs are looked down upon a little bit?
Not a brick mason. Not teaching somebody how.
I'm not saying you look down upon it. I'm just saying.
No. It's a job, guy. For everybody who says there's no jobs, that's a job. Being a carpenter is a job.
I 100% agree.
Being a brick mason is a job.
But you always talk about like the people who hang out at the coffee shops, right? Like those people, those parents wouldn't want their kids to go be like, that's not when they're sending them to the $30,000 a year kindergarten.
Listen, at the end of the day,
right? I agree.
What you want your kids to be, they're going to be what they're going to be. That's number one. And number two, the option to have that, the option to between the age of 18 to 24, there being a program, because there were when I was growing up.
Right.
It wasn't the best, but you could go to a local community center and sign up, and somebody would teach you a trade part-time, and they'd try to get you a job with Pepe's Electrical Service, who would beat you. They wouldn't pay you, you know what I'm saying? But at least it taught you, it got you...
familiar with the terminology.
Familiar with the thing. You follow me? I don't know. I don't look into those programs. Lee, look at the shape of you. I want to thank you, Savages, for listening. You know, I love you guys. Bob Lolingus, Bobby, Sharon. I mean, you know, the list goes on and on. I love you all with all my heart. Don't forget about it. Stay black. Lee, thank you very much. Have a great weekend. And you people at home, have a great weekend.